over here. Can you wave your hand, even though she doesn't want to be on camera? Not the biggest fan of veggies. I'm talking about Ann, who helps me out on the show, my partner in crime. She's worse than my kids, but we're working on her. We really are. So this is a fun one. Oh, she said she had Apple Jacks for breakfast. I don't think that counts. That's like saying that you know, French fries. What about French fries? They're a vegetable. No, that doesn't really count either. So I think the one thing that is a fun, easy thing to do is just start putting a salad on the table more and more often and make the salad fun. Don't think of the same old, same old. So one of the things that I've done to make salads a little more fun and interesting and colorful is think outside the box and add things like fruits and nuts and different vegetables and make a wonderful homemade salad dressing that, you know, when you're thinking of the kids, think of a salad dressing that the kids may like. So this is a winner. It's my apple gorgonzola salad. It's just got a little bit of everything in it. It's really, really pretty and it's easy to throw together. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm doing more and more of this, putting nuts in salad. Nuts are so good for you, a handful of nuts. So I thought walnuts would be really nice with the salad. Apple and walnuts go well together. We're going to do a little bit of gorgonzola cheese, so walnuts and gorgonzola cheese pair well together. But you could do pecans, you could do almonds, and if you're not a nut person, you can just leave them out. But I'm trying to, you know, put more nuts into more recipes. And at first, my kids didn't like nuts at all. And again, once you know, keep doing it, keep putting it out there, all of a sudden that light bulb goes off. There's that light bulb moment where you sit back and watch and they're actually eating the healthy stuff that you put out there. So if you make it fun and just make it part of the routine, all of a sudden the magic happens. So I'm going to let those nuts toast in the pan. And that's another thing I get questions about all the time. Why do you toast the nuts? How do you toast nuts? Well, why do you do it? Because you're basically bringing them back to life. They've been in that package in the store or maybe the pantry, in your pantry for a little bit. And when you heat the nuts, you're releasing some of the oils and they just taste better. Bottom line, they're going to taste a lot better. So I like to do it in a dry skillet. So nothing in here, no butter, no oil, just a dry skillet. You don't even need cooking spray, just a nonstick skillet. Do it over medium-low heat. And keep an eye on them. You can also toast nuts in the oven. What happens to me is every time, I'm not kidding you, I toast them in the oven, I forget they're in there, and all of a sudden I've burned the nuts. And boy, try and get the smell of burnt nuts out of your house. Not real easy. So I've learned that that doesn't work for me. You can do it that way, just set a timer, keep an eye on it, because very, very quickly nuts go from toasted to burned. So I always say, Ann, Abby, you know me, I get to talking, remind me about those nuts over there, they're hanging out. And I just want them to get a little color and really bring the flavor back to life. Homemade salad dressings, wow, does that make a difference in getting you and your kids and just everybody in your family to eat more salads? This is a fun one. We've got apples in the recipe, so this is an apple vinaigrette. And you know, kids like apple juice, right? So I think they're really gonna like the salad dressing. My son Riley says he can't stand salads because he just doesn't like the dressings on salads. Well, I think that a lot of the dressings that he's tried are really strong. They've got a very strong acid flavor, and he just not a big fan of that. So we're going to use one of his favorite things. He loves apple juice. That's his all-time favorite drink. So I'm going to use some apple juice, frozen apple juice concentrate, which is going to give this some sweetness in this recipe for salad dressing, and it's again, something that the kids I think are really going to enjoy. So 2 tablespoons, which is going to sweeten this up, of frozen apple juice concentrate that I've just let thaw out a little bit, and then take the rest of it and make your apple juice with it. Now you noticed I'm using a ball canning jar. This is another one of my secrets and tips and tricks that I do when I talk about making homemade salad dressings. A lot of people have never made homemade salad dressings before, and I get it. It's kind of one more thing. Once you get into the habit of it, you'll be making them all the time. It's so simple to do. And my method of choice is just a jar, a cleaned out mayonnaise jar, a jam jar. If you have ball canning jar, it's all going to work fantastic, and I'll show you why I love them so much. This is one of the recipes, by the way, in my latest cookbook. I tried to come up with new fun salad dressings and salads. Again, getting people to eat more salads. All right, so I've got the 2 tablespoons of frozen apple juice concentrate. Now for our vinegar, I've got 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And that's one of my secrets to getting started in the salad dressing making business is collect different oils and vinegars. So collect vinegars like apple cider vinegar, white distilled vinegar, which you probably have that in your house already, red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, and then from there you can start, getting some of the more fancy vinegars like the strawberry balsamic and blood orange balsamic, and just some of the fun different ones that you can pick up at gourmet food stores that really can get you creative in the salad dressing making business. Okay, my nuts are looking good, so I'm going to do a little bit of salt and pepper, and when I'm making homemade salad dressings, I always start with the vinegar and the acid, in this case the fruit juice, in the jar first, and then I'll add my oil in just a little bit. 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. I like to use Dijon mustard because basically it's a milder mustard than your yellow mustard that you put on hot dogs. So it doesn't have that strong mustard flavor. For people who don't like mustard, they're probably not even going to know it's in here. It's something, again, you can get the kids to eat. But what that does is it helps thicken the dressing. So at this point, I'm going to shake this up just to kind of get it going, get my salt and pepper in here, and get my vinegar and the apple juice concentrate going. And now I'm going to add my oil. And for the oil, I'm using an olive oil, or you could use a canola oil, you could use a vegetable oil. Again, also in my pantry, besides the different vinegars, I have a section of all different oils. Some of the oils I mentioned there. Those are great to have on hand to make salad dressings. Then you can start collecting the other oils, like the sesame oil and the garlic and herb olive oil, and different specialty oils you can find at different places. My nuts, I can smell them. I started to smell them. I'm going to bring them off the heat, put them to the side here. They'll continue to toast up in the pan off the heat. So that's another secret to not burning the nuts. Get them off a little bit before, and like when you bring cookies out of the oven, same idea. They continue to cook on that cookie sheet when you pull them out of the oven. Same idea for the nuts. That's a hot pan, so they'll hang out there and be just fine. Okay, so in goes my oil now into my ball canning jar, about 1/3 cup of oil. And now I'm going to put the lid on this jar and really give it a shake, 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 shake. And it's going to thicken or emulsify, which is the big word my chef friends use. So it'll nicely coat the greens. It's going to have a nice light apple flavor. Speaking of greens, no more iceberg lettuce, people, unless you're doing tacos or like a wedge salad, but really think outside the box. For crunch, romaine lettuce is always great and so much better for you than iceberg lettuce. Baby spinach is something that it tastes great, and actually you can get the kids to eat it. It's not like the cooked spinach. Spring mix lettuce, so much better for you. Just buy it right in the box. It's all ready to roll. Now, I talked about adding some apples to this salad, so I've got both some red and some green apples, and I just want to dice them up or slice them up thin, and that's going to be so pretty in this salad. Going to add some crunch. So when next time you're making an salad, you've got an apple in that bottom drawer of your fridge, throw it in your salad. You've got some strawberries laying around, or some dried cranberries or dried cherries, throw them in there. And I thought we'd do 2 different colored apples just because happen to have both, and means it's even prettier. What kid doesn't like apples? And it's like, oh, this is fun. Now here's another fun ingredient, prosciutto. We've got basically we're going to do a gorgonzola cheese, and so this is optional. You wouldn't have to add it, but it's a wonderful Italian cured ham, and so we can do a couple slices of that. You could also just do some deli ham in here to make this more of a meal. So just a couple of slices of that, and I'll just dice it up real fine. But again, you don't have to put that in here if you don't want. And I tend to just kind of roll it up and dice it up this way. Ireland loves prosciutto. That's her favorite. She doesn't realize it's kind of pricey, so I only do little bits of it, like in a salad like this. Okay, so now we're going to do our nuts. Save a few for the top. And I'm going to lightly coat the greens. Don't overdress your salad. That's another key. So you see how that's kind of thickened up a little bit, but it's still a very light vinaigrette, a little bit of black pepper. Doesn't it look like something you see at a fancy restaurant that you'd pay big bucks for? So I'm just going to kind of toss using tongs. And you'll notice then that this salad's not going to be like sog central with too much dressing. I was at a restaurant recently and they had a wonderful salad on the menu, and then so I ordered it. And when it came to the table, it was just drenched with dressing, and the whole thing was just soggy. And it was like, sometimes less is more, and you back off on the dressing. You can always add more later. And then I always love a little bit of cheese on my salad. So in this case, we'll use a gorgonzola. I thought would pair wonderfully with the prosciutto and the apples. So this is just our Bel Gioioso local gorgonzola that you can just crumble a little dab will do you. This stuff is really strong. So there you go. My apple gorgonzola salad, the extra salad dressing in that jar, put the lid on it, put it in your fridge, and it'll be good in your fridge for another salad during the week. It's good for up to a week or more, so there you go. This is a fun one.